Okay, hi, I'm Mr. Goan, and today we're going to be having a look at one of my favorite games of all time. This is Final Fantasy IX. Now, I'm playing the Microsoft Store download version of this game, using a Bluetooth controller I found on eBay. It's as cheap as chips, so I had to remap it to the keyboard using, I think it's called Joy to Play, or Joy to Key, which is a wee free program you can use to map Bluetooth controllers to keyboard shortcuts. Now the PC version is the remaster, just like you can get on the PlayStation 4 or the PlayStation 5's PSN, and I think it's on Switch and a few other things now as well. So it does have some access to some of the boosts, but we're not going to be using them in this playthrough. I'm only going to be using the basic game. Now you will notice occasionally little graphical glitches. That's because I'm playing on a Microsoft Surface Go, so it doesn't have the most powerful graphic engine, but it's good enough for what we're doing, given that this used to be a PlayStation 1 game. So that's Princess Garnet over the city of Alexandria. Now you can skip the cutscenes, and if you leave comments saying you didn't want to watch them, that's fine, I'll look at skipping them. But you're missing out on some of the best visuals and story. Now, in this game, people travel by airship, and the airships are powered by mist engines. And this is all details we'll learn as we go through the game, but a little bit of history is that this is a game that I've played just about every year since it came out almost 21 years ago. Its anniversary is actually next Wednesday, that's the 7th of July, 2021. Is it 2021? Yes, it is. And that'll be 21 years that this game's been out. And here we're meeting our main character, Zidane. There's a few different ways I've heard people pronounce this, but I've always called him Zidane. If you call him Zidane or something different, that's fine. Now the basic controls don't really apply because I'm not using an Xbox controller. Like I said, I've remapped the keyboard to a nice cheap Bluetooth thing that I found online. So to start us off, we've got the little hand that points out our character, and we can turn that on and off, but I quite like having it on. And as we explore the room a little bit, we've got some stairs over here leading to a door we can't open. You can see Zidane's there. That question mark means we can interact with that item, and that's what the story wants us to do, but I'm going to have a little look around here because I know there's some extra things. See, the game really wants us to light the candle. An exclamation mark above your head here prompts you to press X to find a hidden item, or to interact with something that's not immediately visible. So here we got a potion. Let's see. And here's a sign. The MS Prima Vista theater ship. So that's the ship we're on at the moment. It's a luxury liner with a theater weighing over 8,000 tons with a guest capacity of 288. Its propulsion is Veil energy, which is another way of saying the mist engines. It was built by the Z-Bolt shipyards and registered in the city of Limblum. Now, just a little extra information there, but there's an enemy that we'll face later on, who, instead of a regular battle, is actually fought with trivia questions, called the Ragtime Mouse. I'll just check and make sure there's nothing extra that we need to have in any of these corners. Now we will come back to this room later, but I don't think these floor items are actually available when you come back to the room later. So let's light the candle. And it magically provides more than enough light for the entire room. Now, originally you would have been able to rename your character here, but the way the game works now, that's not the case. It's me, Zidane. And in comes Blank, and Chinna, and Marcus. He ain't here yet. And here we're introduced to the start of the battle system. This is the dragon-headed man. Now, Final Fantasy IX has one of the longest intros to its battles. It normally has this great combat music and the loading screen, but it was quite interesting for the PlayStation era because it was the reintroduction of 4 people on your team. In Final Fantasy 7 and 8, you could only have 3. We get a little thing of the combat here, and I'll go over this as we go. Okay, so the Masked Man actually has 3 items we can steal, so that's what we're going to do. Our team here... Oh, the Mage Masher, fantastic! Our team here are all thieves. Chinna... I don't think I've ever done this without Chinna dying. Okay, we've got all of his items, that was really quick. Alright, now, in the bottom right hand side you can see a green bar called the ATB. That's the active time battle gauge. Now, each of your characters has an ATB that fills up based on their speed stat. And when it's full, they can perform a command. That's the little menu that pops up. So in a second you'll see Zidane, his pops up, and we've got attack, steal, item, defend, skill, and change. So skill lets us use his weapon skills, steal would let us steal again, item lets us use our items from inventory, change would change him to the back row, and attack is just his basic physical attack. Now you can see Blank has no skills, so he doesn't have the skills option, but because they're thieves they have got the steal option. Now the Mage Masher is the most important item to steal there because it's a weapon for Zidane, but we're not going to be able to equip it just now. So this dragon-headed man is actually our boss. This is Baku, which I think means idiot in Japanese, but it's his name. But like I said, I have never yet managed to play this game without Chinna dying in that or not getting knocked out in that opening battle. I did once try to keep him alive by having everybody else use Phoenix Downs, and it was pointless. It was such a waste of items. It's a scripted battle, you can't really lose that one, but you can miss those stealable items. Alright, so these guys are coming to Alexandria with a plan. Tantalus, the infamous band, Daring, that's us, theatre group, is heading to the Kingdom of Alexandria. Our mission is to kidnap the heir to the throne, Princess Scarlet. So, I'll take it from here, so listen up. Okay, so our airship's going to dock into the city, and we're going to put on a play. The play is, I Want to Be Your Canary. Okay, it's kind of some Final Fantasy take on Shakespeare. It's also the princess's favorite play. So Marcus will be playing the lead, and whilst the city and the royalty are distracted, Zidane and Blank are going to kidnap the princess. The plan involves oglops, which are these horrible bugs. And so whilst everyone's being distracted, Zidane is going to kidnap the princess. Now we're given a quick option here. If you say kidnap Queen Brane, everybody gets annoyed. So I'm going to say kidnap Princess Garnet, but there's a wee Easter egg. If you say Queen Brane 99 times, then another one of the characters bursts in the room and starts shouting at you for getting it wrong and telling you to just get on with it and learn your lines. So that quick introduction showed us movement and introduction with the world, and also a little bit of combat. And this is where we're going to start getting into a little bit with our story. Again, I'm sorry for the visual stuff here, the glitching, but this little guy here is our second player character. This is Vivi, and he is a beloved Final Fantasy character. He is a black mage, which means he uses elemental magic. Final Fantasy IX reintroduced a lot of the traditional Final Fantasy job schemes. So Zidane, as we saw, was a thief. Vivi is a black mage. We're going to meet some more characters shortly, but we briefly saw Princess Garnet. She is a white mage and a summoner. And we'll also meet Adalbert Steiner, who is a knight. And his contemporary, who is the second backup to the Queen, which is General Beatrix, who is one of the harder to get roles, which is a Holy Knight from back in Final Fantasy 1. Okay, so let's jump back into this. Now you can see we're getting some glitching here because the game is transitioning from a pre-rendered scene into a player scene. But here we are in Alexandria. Oh, in the original, this little girl had a really bad speech impediment. She would say "dwarfed" with the extra W. That's cute. Okay, so here we are. This is Vivi. We can take a quick look at him. At the moment, we don't know his name. Just to make sure, here we got the wrist and the mage masher that we stole from Baku. Here's Vivi's abilities list. At the moment, he knows the ability Fire. He hasn't got any equipable abilities. We can check his equipment quickly. He's got the mage staff, a leather hat. We could equip the wrist on him. It would increase his evade and his magic evasion. But you can see the skill down at the bottom there, Flea Gill. That's a skill that he can't learn. That's why it's grayed out. Flea Gill is one of Zidane's skills. So if we pop it onto him just now, it'll up his evasion skill. Which will mean he's less likely to get hit in battle. So I'm going to pop it on him for just now, but there aren't any battles coming up. Can't change his leather shirt, and we've got no accessories. So that's us. Just quickly check so you can get an idea what this looks like. He needs 16 experience to get to his next level. He's currently level 1. You can see our stats have gone up, and you can see that he has learned no skills yet. The only thing that should be listed there... Oh, sorry, it's only listed once you actually have an ability point, but Fire will get listed there once he's had his first battle. Now we can adjust the order. You can see how Vivi is jumping backwards and forwards. He's currently in the front row, and now he's in the back row. In the back row you take less damage, but you deal less damage physically. But Vivi is more of a magic user, so we want him in the back row. There's also a card game, and we can adjust some of the options here. I'm going to change my ATB to active to make it a little bit harder. The battle camera I'll leave on auto. I like the... Oh, I could skip the battle intro. That would speed the game up a bit. I'm going to leave my movement on walk. I'm going to speed up my text and my battle speed. But I like the hero icon. There's the classic blue. Oh, the classic blue is much nicer. We'll leave that one. And I don't actually have vibration in my controller, so I'm not going to bother with that. Now you can see these are the game boosters I talked about. We are not going to be using them. I don't want to master all the abilities straight away. That's a thing I love to do myself. Level and magic stones max, again, not doing that. And gil max, we're not doing that. So we will not be doing any of those things. Oh, look at that blue. That's beautiful. Alright, let's get started. Alright, holding down the circle. Oh! We got bumped into by Puck. Hey, Zarek, why'd you get in my way? Oh, come back here. So, we're going to have a little look around here. Now, some of the stuff you find seems really pointless. Like, for example... Oh, that's new. There's an additional option. So when you talk to people, see the exclamation mark, you can talk to people pressing X. So we can talk to him there. But you see that second bubble there is telling us to press the square icon to play cards with that person. But I can't play cards because I haven't got enough cards yet. So that's really cool. That's a new feature for it. Like I said, I've only ever played the PS1 version of this. Now, we can talk to people. But one of the big things is to interact with items and pick up items on the floor. Some of these conversations are so badly scripted. And we can interact with little things, like here we get this patterned rug which makes him fall over and get dizzy. But one of the main things I want to do here is pick up hidden items, like Granny's secret savings of 9 gil. Now we'll get hundreds of gil from combat, so that seems really pointless, but much later on in the game, the number of hidden items or secrets that you found in the game is tallied up, and you're given a treasure hunter rank, and we want the best rank possible to get a hidden item later on. It's quite important. But not to worry, just know that basically I'm going to be trying to find every hidden item I can. Okay. I think there's a shop somewhere near here. Now, I'm not going to buy anything because we don't actually need any items just now. It would probably be useful to have things like eye drops. Honorable nobles of Drano, the Castle Alexandria is this way. Drano is a town we'll go to much later in the game. Now, if you hadn't noticed already, you're probably seeing it there. There's a kid there just off to the left. His name is Hippo, and he is a hippo. This game is full of anthropomorphic animal people. Okay, now we are going to talk to him again on another screen to activate another event. But for now, we're just going to try and pick up a few things. Here we go, a wee tavern. There's our red mage, the male red mage. Now the red mage was a combined class. White mages use healing magic, black mages use elemental magic. Red mages use some of the low to medium range elemental magic, but they also can use some of the low to medium range healing magic. They didn't have access to the strongest magic of either sort, but because they had access to both sides, they were always considered a much more versatile class. So you could either specialize, or you could have elements of both. Red mages also tended to have a stronger physical element to them. Oh, we've got something else we can investigate here. The Morning Star Bar. Today's half-price special, our original cocktail, Her Majesty. Lovely. This little girl, what does she want? Want to come with us to see the nobles? It's polite. Okay, so we get to the city square. Now, right at the start, when Vivi got knocked over, a ticket came out of his pocket and he was handed it. This guy tells us that we should go to the ticket booth to get our tickets stamped so we can go into the castle to watch the play. Now, with that in mind, we can actually take a quick look at our items, press circle and go along to our key items, and we can have a look at our ticket. Come see the all-time classic love story, I Want to Be Your Crow. A tragic tale of destiny, cursed memories, dreams, life and death. I want to be your crow. I'm sure that won't be too important. Oh, shouldn't have left that. These old JRPGs with fixed cameras in the overworld always have this slightly disorientating feature where you could be holding up to move forward on one screen, transition to the next screen, and all of a sudden up is actually a direction that takes you back to the previous screen. So every now and then you will see me like jump backwards and forwards between screens. Most shops sell very little. Potions are healing items. Phoenix down. Down is another word for feathers. It's a phoenix feather, it brings you back to life. Then we've got antidotes for curing poison, eye drops cure blindness, and a tent is used in the overworld to cure everybody of some maladies and a lot of health. But it's also used in combat to have a chance of causing a whole lot of negative things like blindness and poison. The chance of actually doing it's quite low if I remember right, but it could be a laugh. Okay, so the game wants us to go to the ticket booth, but instead we're going to have a little explore. Now you can talk to people, and by now I think I've got about 5 cards, so I could play a game of cards against somebody. But for the most part, what I want to do is explore a little, because like I said, we can get items. Okay, so this shop is actually closed because he's going to be taking his wife to the play. And an ether is used to recover your magic points. So potions are used to recover health points, ethers are used to recover MP. So you've got HP and MP. This is the weapon shop. You can tell by the swords and shields, but we can't buy anything yet. Over here, though, is a little list for us. Recruiting new Knights of Pluto. We're looking for recruits from the Knights of Pluto in Alexandria Castle. Come, all you brave men, let us protect our queen and our beautiful country together. Captain, Knights of Pluto. Okay, so we're going to meet the Knights of Pluto soon. Now, remember I said we're going to speak to Hippol again. So what we need to do is to find him. There he is. There he is. So when I talk to him, he says, I hid my 3 precious cards in a safe place. Now, we've just activated that, so what I'm going to do is go across this way. Now, if you come back this way when the story tells you to, you can't do this. So, it's locked away behind the actual story event. But if we come along here, we can find Hippol's secret place. Into the chapel. And up the ladder. And now I can pull the rope and we'll find Hippol's secret, which is this teeny tiny treasure chest with his 3 precious cards: Ironite, Goblin, and Fang. Now you kind of have to just get past the morality, the fact that we just stole a kid's playing cards. In a like a Zelda game, how you go into people's houses and smash their stuff, in a Final Fantasy game, if you find it, it's up for grabs. Like, we just found a tent on the floor. I mean, what more do you want from me? Now, like I said, you have to physically stand over things to activate the little bubble. So, here we go. There's a potion. Like I said, we will come back here, but what I want to do now is come down to the harbour. By coming this way, that little girl leaves this house, so she's no longer blocking the stairs. And we can now go up the stairs. And again, we're just doing this for the extra 3 gil. We're doing this for the extra found hidden items counter. Now, any Final Fantasy fans among us may well recognise some of the beats of the music. Particularly if you played the Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation or any other platform. There's almost always crossovers to the music in Final Fantasy games. Now, I'm not big on the card game. It doesn't, unlike Final Fantasy. No, tell me if you see my cat mittens. Unlike Final Fantasy VIII, where the cards had like a major effect, like you could turn monsters into cards and then turn the cards into items, or turn them into magic. In Final Fantasy IX, it's just a game, which is fine. It's good fun, and it's an extra element. There's like achievements as well, if you can collect them, but it's not as big a deal. Now, this is a horrible game. It's skipping. Suck at it. You get different prizes based on how far up you can get through it. Up to the 1000. If you can skip 1000 times, you get a key item and an achievement. But I'm not really looking for the achievements. A lot of the items you'll get from those girls are actually really powerful cards for the card game. Oh. Somebody stole the cards I hit. Oh, that was me. What do you mean there's no vacancies? Have a quick drink of tea. If you've ever been in my classroom, you've probably seen the giant cups of tea I drink. Okay. I'm gonna play cards against this guy. Let's see what the card game's like. Let's see what cards I've got. Been picking them up as we go. Not to mention, we've got Hippol's cards as well. Okay. Take that one. That one. This is the character card. We got that for our skipping. An Ironite. Okay, and yeah, I need that one. Alright, so the aim of this game, the 4 digits represent strength and defense. I'm gonna skip that. So a P is physical and M is magic. The first number is your attack. The letter tells you what type of attack you do. The third digit is your defense against physical, and the fourth digit is your defense against magic. So the aim is to have an attack power of a type higher than the defense of that type of the opponent card. But there's a whole lot of other rules to it. The arrows are the directions you can attack in, and then you can string combos together. Your cards level up as you use them, so like you can see this Flan has 1 in its magical defense. Now there's a random chance that a card that you use at the end of the battle will increase one of its stats by 1. So there's a whole load of hidden mechanics about it. Now I'm gonna just place a goblin. And you can see, oh, we beat the Flan. Okay, so different cards also have different strengths. Like goblins are particularly weak monsters, so they have particularly weak cards. I'm gonna pop my, no, I'm gonna keep my character. I'm gonna pop my Ironite down here. Okay, so the Fang was able to take my goblin because my goblin didn't have an arrow to fight back against. In the same way, we're gonna take that Fang with my Fang. Okay, now what we really want is to combo these, but I don't have the cards to do it. Oh, that was lucky. I'm not going to rematch. Like I said, I kind of suck at the card game. Oh, there's a person in there. Go up these stairs, just double check, make sure there's no items or anything that we need in here. Nope. Come out this way, get a nice view of the city. Ain't that pretty? So I was sort of ashamed there's nothing here. There's not an item or something you can pick up, or it's just a nice view. Okay. Now later on there's another side quest involving Hippol. They saw the nobles. Okay, I guess it's time. Let's. Oh, actually, you know what? There's another area back at the start. Now, remember that kid we spoke? Oh, look, a cat. That kid we spoke to had lost his cat. So if we go this way, if we follow where the cat was, we can maybe try and find Mittens, the cat. Oh, remember what I said about the screen transitions? Okay, so skip these kids, go past. Now, the first time I played this game, I thought going through that screen would actually have taken us out into the world map, but it doesn't. Here's Mittens the cat, and here comes Tom with his rickets gate there. You're welcome, Tom. Now, remember at the harbour where we saw him? When we go back there shortly, he'll give us a bomb card. Bombs are a traditional Final Fantasy enemy. I don't want to play cards against him. Like I said, it's fun to collect them, but until you get some good cards later, a lot of the people around here don't have very good cards. And the ones that do have cards that are much more powerful than what we can actually play against. We are going to try and get a conversation with Forearm Jack. Or Alleyway Jack, I think he's called it at the beginning. He's got 4 arms. He's an interesting person. See, the revamp's quite interesting. They've redone all the models for the characters, or they've upscaled them at least, but they've left the pre-rendered backgrounds. So the models stand out so much more on the pre-rendered backgrounds than they used to. I mean, I played this game originally on a PlayStation 1, hooked up to a TV in a technical department in a school down in Newcastle. The first week of the Scottish summer holidays. And I say specifically the Scottish ones because Scotland go on summer before England do. So my dad was teaching and there was a class in the other room and I was sat in a spare classroom playing Final Fantasy IX on a school TV. So you can ask him what's showing today, but everyone knows it's I want to be your canary, or Arctic it says I want to be your crow. I'm sure it's not going to be an issue. Nice cup of tea. Something odd about this chicken. Why, it's another fake. I've seen so many today. Don't cry, I know you must feel. Here, I'll give you these to cheer you up. A goblin card, a fang card, a skeleton card. Talk to Alleyway Jack to learn more about cards. Good luck, lad. Well, sucks to be Vivi, I guess. Alright, we'll give these girls one more try. My personal best is about 210. Short one time when I played the digital version of this on the PlayStation Vita. I must have bought this game about 6 or 7 times since it came out, on different formats, different mediums and stuff. But I queued up to get my PlayStation Vita the day it was released, and I already owned Final Fantasy IX as a digital copy. So it was the first game I immediately downloaded onto my Vita and started playing. And in that very first file I managed to get to 650 jumps. And I have never gotten that before then, I've never gotten that since then. Didn't even get to 50 this time. Probably because I was talking while I was doing it. But, you know what, there's another chance to play that game again on disc 3, so we'll maybe come back, I guess. Oh! Blast it! You made me miss you, little klutz! If you remember, this guy's been hammering that sign since we first passed in the alleyway. His name's Dante. Hanging a sign. Abandon all hope ye who enter here, I guess. Okay, so he's abandoned his ladder, and look, it's the rat kid from earlier. Hey, Shrimp, you're the one with the phony ticket, ain't you? News travels fast. Are you Alleyway Jack? Do I look like that loser? I'll let you see the show if you become my slave. Yeah, alright. Alright. Stand over there and see if anyone's coming. I think someone's coming. is clear. Now, I did that specifically because that's the combination that gets Alleyway Jack to come along. There's a lot of things in this game where you would only know it. Oh, here he comes. There's Alleyway Jack. You would only figure it out if you were just mucking about or somebody told you. You don't know how to play. You want me to teach you? Well, why not? Alright, so here we go, and he's going to take us back to the pub. Remember this pub. So we'll start with the basics. You need 5 cards to play the game. I approach someone and press X. No, that's square in the original PlayStation. So I have to actually play the game. Now I'm gonna skip through this quite quickly because I want to play a card game against Alleyway Jack. Now he has particularly good cards, and I have a bad habit of losing my particularly good cards against him. Now, if you can get things like the ribbon card from the Skipping Girls, you have a much easier time with this. Let's see. Alright, we've got a good one there. The ticket booth guy gave us some really good cards, if I'm honest. Now, you can never change the arrows on your cards, but you can change, like, the numbers do increase, like I said. Alright, I'm gonna go for a method here that involves stringing together combos, I hope. So I'm going to pop. My goblin's kind of weak, I'm going to stick him there. Alright, you see the combo there. Now what we want to do is turn the skeleton. If we turn the skeleton, we get them all. That was close. Now we don't want that zombie to get turned, so I'm going to pop the flan here. Now, my cactar should be able to fight this flan. Yeah, see the massive difference in number there. Oh, good. Now, he didn't have particularly good cards this time, so we don't actually get anything new here. But that zombie's got better arrows. So we'll grab that zombie. Oh, no, I don't want to play another one. I think I understand. Now, we will learn his real name much later in the game. And again, he's another famous Final Fantasy character. I'm going to go back to the alleyway so we can find Puck. Though I don't think we know his name is Puck yet. Sorry, I really love this game. Now, there he is with our ladder, and he's going to go into the chapel. We're going to pop up here though and speak to Tom and Mittens, who gives us a bomb card. I think I quickly got our bomb card. There it is. Nice bomb card. We're going to see a bomb soon, just as part of the story. Okay, we're gonna climb this tower. Ugh, we're pros at this. Oop! It's a Moogle! Okay. I understand. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to save here using Kupo. And we're also going to ask Kupo about the Mognet, which is the Moogle's system for sending letters. Because shortly we're going to take over control of another character. Oh, and there's Stiltskin, the traveling Moogle. Stiltskin's one of the only Moogles that speaks normally. Almost all of the Moogles end sentences with the word Kupo. Say hi to Mosh in the castle for me. Now, Stiltskin will run into a lot through the game. He normally has stuff that we can buy, but this time it's more of a... it's just a passing visit. So, check the Mognet first. A letter to Monty. Now the Mognet is quite a big feature of the game. You can see I've not... this is brand new for me. This is Ace. Yeah, the Mognet's a big feature of the game. You'll notice a lot of the Moogles as we go through complain about the deliveries being sporadic or just being missing. So we'll end up delivering most of the letters in the game. And as you can see, there was no option there to pull the bell this time, so that's why we went and got the cards earlier. Okay. Okay. Don't worry, kid, it won't fall. Immediately falls. And blocks our way back. Okay, so what we want to do is check all these little birds' nests. Because the birds collect stuff, so... don't even know your name. Here's Vivi. Okay. My name's Puck. Pleased to meet you. Okay, so where are we? Oh, we're on a ledge. So I'm gonna go... Puck went that way, so I'm gonna go this way because it's standard RPG thing here is to go totally the opposite direction. Which is miles out of our way for 63 Gil. Gil is the name of the money in most Final Fantasy games, although Kingdom Hearts it's monies. I'm not sure what Gil actually stands for, actually. That feels like something I should know. Okay, looks like the last one, and then he's been carrying that ladder this whole way to do that. They made it. That's the Queen. And that's her daughter, Princess Garnet. The knight there is Steiner, whose eyeliner is on point. Now, what you're looking at there is actually the airship docked alongside the castle. They've flown the airship in to act as a flying stage for the castle performance. And we can see the princess is sad. Queen seems really happy. Now this whole performance is for the princess's 16th birthday. Okay. Princess Cornelia and her lover Marcus, only to be captured by King Leo. Marcus has heard of this, crosses swords with the king. And our rooftop viewers, Tantalus proudly presents I Want to Be Your Canary. And I think this play draws from Romeo and Juliet, and from King Lear, among others. And is one of the few times in the game that Zidane uses a sword instead of a dagger. And there's Marcus. We back thee, kinsman. Pray sheath thy swords, this villain is mine alone. So you can see the king has been quite tyrannical. Everyone's got a bone to pick. Okay, now for this fight, since we're on stage performing for the nobles, steel has been replaced. What we can do now is special effects. Now, I'm only going to use a few of them to show you them. No, I'm going to use Pyro. But use Poly. Just because it's fun to see them. And then we'll just do the fight. But you see, the special effects cause no damage at all. They're just awesome ways to spice up the fight. There's some debate online, I think, about whether or not using special effects affects the next bit of the game, about whether or not you've impressed the nobles. But, there's Chinna getting hit again. Meteor! But I'll be honest, I've never once noticed a difference between the times where I've not used special effects and the times where I have. I think it looks cool. The trick to speed it up though is to take out the two underlings. Or at least I find that. You can completely focus on King Leo and take him out that way, but taking down his two underlings first speeds up the combat because you don't have the two of them getting attacks in and using their own special effects either. Unless it's the Crusader's Cross or something. In the art book for Final Fantasy IX, they came up with designs for the different swords that Baku would use, and the swords that he would use as King Leo, and even these swords that the guys are holding there, because they're not like the swords that you'll get in combat. Okay, now this is going to be a little hard because of the way the controller's mapped, because it's not going to issue the commands named the way the controller is. But I'm going to try and get a perfect score for this. I'll try a couple of times. If I can't do it, then I'll just skip it. But I really want to get a perfect score on this for an item that you get for it. I am so out of practice. Yeah, I'm gonna redo that. Come back here. It's gonna be like 67 nobles. Oh, 74. Alright, no. We want to perform the fight scene again. Come on then. Alright, get it right this time. Okay, that was better, I think. That was worse. Okay, come on. Let's get it right. Damn it. I tell you, once it starts going wrong, it really goes wrong. Alright, one last go. Part of the problem, I think, is that when I think of X, I think of the bottom button, which is A on this controller. X is where I would think of square of being. I need to get over that. Come on, you can do this. You know what, I'll just edit these failed times out or something. I'm gonna call it there for just now. We'll pick this up again next time, okay? I promise not to spend too long on it, okay? You've been watching Mr. Goan, this is Final Fantasy IX, and I'll see you next time. Bye!